thank you very much. I want to acknowledge Minister Kamel. I want to extend my deepest gratitude to you, the government of Egypt, and the IGF for inviting me to speak at this important gathering. I'm honored to be here in Sharm, Sheikh, Egypt, with so many people who share a similar passion about the internet and the opportunities, the doors, and opens for people around the world. I also want to thank the Prime Minister, who has taken a leading role developing Egyptian communications internet landscape. I also want to offer my appreciation to the United Nations and the Under-Secretary General Sheikh for opening invitation to the IGF. And I also would like to recognize all the other delegations from around the world. What I want to talk about today is a bit of reflection on the profound impact the internet has already had, and the importance of connecting more people on this planet online, especially those in developing worlds and emerging markets, and how all of us, as leaders in business, governments, academia, journalism, civil society, and the broader user community can help to get the next billion people online. Just as importantly, to ensure that we deliver meaningful experiences and content to this next global wave of internet consumers. As some of you may know, my partner David File and I co-started Yahoo almost 15 years ago in 1994. Yahoo started out as a hobby. In fact, the first name we called it was Jerry and David Guide to the World Wide Web. And I'm glad we didn't keep that name. But pretty soon we realized people had a fun experience when they were looking on the internet and looking for things, and they used Yahoo to find what they were looking for, and they were so happy. And they called Yahoo, and we put an explanation behind our name, and off we went. When we started, there were fewer than 10 million people globally on the internet. That's less than 1/3 of 1% of the world population back then. The internet backbone traffic at that time amounted to 17 terabytes per month. Back then, people talked about online bulletin boards, and the mobile internet was unheard of. But there was a sense among those in technology and engineering circles that this was the beginning of something huge. We had a passion to create a community of knowledge and information, and to connect local communities to the people of the world. We understood from pioneers like Tim and Vince Cerf that there was a tremendous amount of social value to the web, and we had an opportunity to make big and positive impact in people's lives. Back then, the internet was built on the same foundations and ideals as today: openness, freedom of expression, universal access, global participation, and the power of information. So where are we now? In 2009, as has been mentioned, it's been more than 1.6 billion people on the internet, about 25% of the world population. Their internet backbone traffic exceeded 8 million terabytes a month, about a 500,000-fold increase since 15 years ago. Today, there are more than 200 million websites, 90,000 new sites being created a day. And on Yahoo, we have over 600 million people visiting us every month, and 8 billion minutes spent from those visitors. There are 300 million Yahoo email users sending 100 billion messages a month, 112 million people under Yahoo Instant Messaging sending 81 billion messages each month. And there are 120 million people in what we call Yahoo groups, communicating across 10 million different groups of activity, everything including local schools, sports, to diseases, and support groups. What's astonishing are not those just numbers. Is the impact the internet has had on so many people around the world, from socioeconomic opportunities to the ability to provide better health care, educating the next generation of students and entrepreneurs. The internet today is about the intersection of the world we all live in and my world, my friends, my family, my community, my social network, my work. So, the power of the internet and the ability of communities to connect is something amazing. Whether it may be enabling farmers in Africa to bank online to get better pricing for their crops, or students downloading curriculum so they can study. I want to share just a couple of examples from our Yahoo experience that demonstrates the power of the internet. Like no other medium, the internet has had tremendous value Yahoo's online photo sharing site to create a database of missing people from the typhoon Katsumi. This database helped family find friends and family members who were missing in this disaster. In Yahoo groups, we see 10 million different groups that are serving different needs. One of them is called the Yahoo group for the Development Cafe, which offers job postings and knowledge sharing free of cost, which is particularly welcomed by the members of emerging economies. This successful group has been included in the Global Poverty Network listed, hosted by the UNDP. These are just a few examples, and there are countless from other Yahoo services and other web services in general. So as we look at all this progress, the question is, what's next? We're still missing 3 out of every 4 people that walk this planet online. We need to close this gap and get the next billion people online, and then the next billion after that. But before we discuss how to get the next billion, we also must ask, who are the next billion? Half of the next billion users are expected to come from emerging markets and developing countries. Many will also come from aging populations, both established and emerging markets, and from those with accessibility challenges. These are very important audiences. Let me just focus on the large underserved audience, those citizens living in the emerging markets. Today, there are approximately 325 million internet users in what we call the emerging markets. And that number is expected to grow 19% annually through 2012. Many will come from less affluent populations in semi-rural areas, relatively poor, young, and enthusiastic with a great capacity to learn. Many will need content and want more content in their native languages, and still others won't just be bound by languages and barriers, but have other challenges such as reading, literacy, and other concerns. The internet can definitely transform lives, societies, and economies in emerging markets, but there are 3 aspects I would say we have to focus on. Access to the internet, content and user experiences, and our responsible engagement in those markets. First, there are plenty of brilliant minds in this room working on the access part. This is critical for introducing more people to the internet. We need to increase access, whether it's broadband, mobile, Wi-Fi, WiMAX, to bring the internet within reach to more people. Historically, we've seen that when broadband penetration reaches around the 20% mark, like Egypt is, we see that tipping point. We see the rapid acceleration in internet adoption. And there's another benefit. According to the 2009 World Bank report, for every 10 percentage point increase in high-speed internet adoption in the population, there is a corresponding increase in economic growth of 1.3 percentage points. This is an area where government and private industry can partner. Private investments can help build infrastructure, but also must see a market opportunity. Clear and consistent government regulation can also help encourage private investment. Bringing down the cost of access is critical. As this group is well aware, disposable income is minimal in emerging economies. Providing low-cost service or free internet at cafes can help drive more people online. Just as important as access, the content and user experience that we provide to the next billion is important. We are sometimes consumed